What's going on, Animal Crossing fans? My name is Blaze, and today I'm coming at you with some new information. Not so much new information about Animal Crossing, but an article I just came across that seems to maybe shed some light on some things that we were kind of curious about in the past. So I want to read this article because it talks about a feature in the game that I don't quite understand what they're saying, and the way that it's worded is very vague. So let me just go ahead and read the article for you, and then we can maybe think about what it means together here. But namely, I wanted to bring it up and tell you what I think, because I think that initially I thought one thing, and then as I read the article, I started to think something different that could explain a couple of different features that we've already heard about. So the name of the article here, it says that this is coming from My Potato Games, and I'll switch over to the screen. You can see it here. This is the article here. I don't want to make this too big because there's ads all over this page and it's really annoying to look at. So we'll keep it to this size for now. But this is from My Potato Games. It says, share your islands with friends in Animal Crossing New Horizons multiplayer. Share your islands with friends. Initially, I thought Dream Address, right? Share your island with friends. Dream Address would facilitate something along those lines. Being able to share your island and what you've done with your friends would make sense by having like an online copy of that town where your friends can just visit it whenever they want to. But as I read on it, it kind of talks about something else. So let me go ahead and read this for you. So there's been so much news about Animal Crossing New Horizons. Tons of gameplay, details, and amazing trailer has stunned fans of the series once again. During a recent interview with no other than Eya Kyogoku, game designer of games like Animal Crossing New Leaf and New Horizons, it was revealed that players for the first time in the series will also to invite real friends to live inside the same town. So after this paragraph, I started thinking, does this mean that are they trying to imply that if you initially, like if you have multiple profiles on the same Switch, that you'll be able to invite those profiles to live in the same town? It sounds like maybe they're trying to stretch the truth or manipulate the truth a little bit. So maybe just that one sentence, that ending of the sentence will be, for the first time in the series, you'll be able to invite real friends to live inside the same town. And that's not entirely true because New Leaf did that. City Folk did that. All the games did that. So if it's just localized to your Switch, then pretty much all the games did that. As long as you had friends that lived in your house, they could all share the same town. So, but they go on to say something else here, and I'll bring up some of the information that I'm talking about. So, unlike previous games in the popular village simulator, players can finally share their town with someone else. In Animal Crossing New Leaf, it was possible to open the train station gate and invite players over to your town for a limited time. Players who joined your town would be able to help with a few tasks like pulling weeds, fishing with you, and even take a ride with Cap'n to the nearby island. Yep, that's all true. Animal Crossing New Horizons takes the multiplayer capabilities in the game to next level. Players will not only be able to hang out with friends, but can also offer them an entire house to themselves. This means you'll be able to invite other real-life players to have a place on your island, or you could rent a home at your friend's island as well. This will allow for a much more meaningful multiplayer experience in which other players can decorate their own home and follow their own tasks while spending time on a common island. It's weird to think that. So I want to restate what they're saying here. They're saying that you'll be able to invite other real-life players to have a place on your island, or you could rent a home at your friend's island as well. Now, I don't know where they're getting this information. I don't know. I've never heard this from any other source, so take this with a grain of salt. Some of the grammar that's used in this article is actually kind of bad too, so I don't know what they're talking about necessarily. I've never heard these specific details. But one of the things I thought of initially was Dream Towns, is that you can have that copy of your town. Of course, other players can go visit that copy of the town, and that's how you'll see your friends' towns. You can pull weeds and do all this stuff, but dream towns don't affect the live, like your live town. So a dream town version of my town is not affected by someone going to that dream town and chopping down all the trees. Like nothing really matters in a dream town. You know, flowers getting pulled up, none of that's really a big deal. So that's strange to me that that's kind of what they're saying here. So you can rent a home at your friend's island as well. So here's what I thought. And again, I don't know if this is true. Take this with a grain of salt, and we'll kind of see if you guys think the same thing, or if maybe this will make sense. So earlier on, we talked in one of my old videos about how they're doing a lot to try and prevent time traveling and hacking and modding and things like that. We've also talked a little bit about cloud saves and how Animal Crossing New Horizons will not support cloud backup saves. So to me, this is kind of an indication of maybe how they're going around the whole idea of cloud backup saves. So now hear me out. Now this is a theory. This is just a thought and speculation. But what if they're not going to allow cloud backup saves because your save file for Animal Crossing New Horizons is always on a server, and people can always visit your island. You can, every time you load your island, you're loading into that server and you're playing your island in a virtual environment that everyone has access to if they choose to go to it. So with this idea, you'd be able to, if your friend's just not playing Animal Crossing, you can go to your friend's town. You can, do some chores for your friend, drop off a couple items, and then come back to your town. Your friend can do the same, and they can also rent a house, or they can also, they can not only rent a house, but they could also be there while you're not there. They could also be there while you are there, just randomly whenever they feel like it. They could help you with some of the things you're trying to do, or they could deal great damage to your town depending on who you've trusted and who should or should not be there. I don't know how I feel about this necessarily. I feel like it's very interesting. I don't know why they wouldn't have the save file for Animal Crossing, first of all, on the cartridge. Like that just makes sense. But secondly, I don't know why they wouldn't have it on the system. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think you can set up your Switch to be like a virtual anywhere kind of a server thing. So if you do have, if your town is saved on your console, I don't think you can make that like a live thing that anybody can just log into. The only other thing I thought of for that was that maybe it's that when you're done playing for the day, you save your game, and then you can upload a copy of your town to the online environment. People can come to your town and mess around, do whatever they want, and then when you're done with it, or when you log back in, you download that game back, and then that gets erased. So at least then you can have the best of both worlds. The town's on your Switch, but you're also uploading it at your choosing, not all the time, but whenever you choose to upload it, you can. And maybe that's how, I don't know, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But when you think about the idea that they're trying to limit time traveling and there's no cloud saves, and especially considering how important these towns and are to some people. My town I've spent 6 years in, and I certainly do not want to lose it. But I mean, it's fascinating to me that we're in this situation now where I don't know what this article means. I don't understand, and it seems to me like it's possible that that's the direction that they're going in, but they haven't laid out the details of that. So again, I don't know what this article means. I don't know if it means we're going to get all this futuristic technology for Animal Crossing. It's a strange article and a strange way to word the things in the article. If they're only talking about local play, and that, hey, if you have friends that also live in your house, they can have a house on your island, by using a second profile on the Switch. That makes sense to have that kind of thing. I mean, because of course that's how the game is designed. That's one of the features. But to word it in a way that says this means you'll be able to invite other real life players to have a place on your island, or you could rent a home at your friend's island as well. So I don't understand why they worded it that way. Now again, take it with a grain of salt. It probably is just worded this way to be weird, and maybe it's clickbait. But I wanted to talk about it anyway, and I'll try my best not to talk about clickbait in the future, because I feel like that's just really sad. But I did want to at least talk about this and get it out there, because I think there's some interesting ideas that come from this that might explain some of the things that we're kind of apprehensive about in the first place. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit like and subscribe. I'm gonna do more videos over the course of the next week. I'm still stunned that I have not talked about Breath of the Wild yet. I have not talked about Banjo-Kazooie and Smash yet, and it's been like over a week now. So later in the week I'll probably do some videos on those two things. But I do want to talk more about Animal Crossing anytime something comes up. And if you happen to find something that I haven't seen yet, let me know, and I'd love to take a look at it and post my comments. But thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. I'll catch you on the flippity flip.